But finally, this Saturday, Saul, Canelo Alvarez and Gennady Triple G Golovkin meet in a rematch of last year's controversial draw. Wednesday was the final pre-fight press conference.
This is the biggest day for people, for fans, for boxing fans. Just remember, September 15th is the biggest day for boxing. Good luck. Thank you. See you September 15th.
Realmente estoy listo, me preparé. I'm ready, and I prepared well to be right back in the ring on September 15th. If you know me through my career, I do not like to talk. I'll do it in the ring, and I hope that everyone enjoys a fight for my fans and for Mexico.
The press conference was whack. And with now news coming out that this fight is the last fight for both Canelo and Golovkin under both Canelo and Golovkin's HBO contract. So they're going to be free agents when it comes to a network. Golden Boy has said they're going to explore other options. You could see Canelo go over to ESPN and do ESPN pay-per-views. I doubt that they'll go work with the Zone, Eddie Hearn. I doubt that they'll go work with Al Heyman. But ESPN, can get, all the rights to Golden Boy fights, just like Top Rank. And ESPN is throwing that type of money around. And remember, currently, Top Rank and Golden Boy have ESPN deals, but ESPN's Golden Boy deal is more for prospects and up-and-coming fights, where Top Ranks is more mainstream. But that's not saying they can get something similar with Canelo. Canelo's a fucking big-time, global superstar in boxing. This was funny. This was, despite the fact that there was no face-off, we're going to talk about that. Despite the fact that the press conference was whack, we're going to talk about this. This was an 8-minute interview ESPN did with Golovkin, and basically this was the best part.
Abel says, because I'm not interesting for me. I know Abel talk only true. He said I don't have balls. He's coming, I show him. If he won't, if he not believe Abel,
For you have a chance.
So basically, Canelo doesn't think Golovkin has balls. So Abel Sanchez said, yeah, he's got balls. And Golovkin was like, look, I'll show you how big my balls are. But Golovkin's English is broken. And sometimes when he starts to talk shit, it can sound real sinister. For example, when he told Gabriel Rosado parents to go hide or some shit, he was going to come back for them or some more crazy shit like that. Even though it wasn't meant to come off like that, still the shit was pretty dark and sinister when he said it. but his English is getting better to where Canelo, he can speak English, he understands English, he just won't speak it, whatever the case is. If you don't know, the pay-per-view is $84.99, $85. And I know some of you sons of bitches are going to go out there and try to stream it. And believe you me, they're going to make it very, very difficult for you. I'm already expecting for them to try to make it difficult for me and take my video down, my post-fight videos down. But we are ready. We are legally strapped up. So, $84.99. It's going to be David Lemieux versus Gary Spike Sullivan for some WBO and or WBA underling title. One of those guys, so WBC 2, one of those guys is going to be a mandatory possibly in the next year and a half or so. You're going to have Jaime Munguia versus Brandon Bad Boy Cook of Canada. You're going to have Roman. They call him Choco Lotito. I don't like it. So we're going to call him Roman Latito Gonzalez versus Moises Fuentes. And I think that, something about, he just seems done. But I know he hasn't fought since he got knocked out by Rung Visai, but, we will see. In my opinion, like I said before, I think that Golovkin's going to win. I'm entitled to my opinion, man. And just like on Saturday night when I do my post-fight video, I'm going to be open and honest. If Golovkin get knocked the fuck out or if he get outboxed, I'm going to be like, damn, Canelo the motherfucking man. If Canelo get knocked the fuck out or beat the fuck up or loses on the card, I'm going to be like, look, motherfucker, look. I ain't going to be up here like, I told you so. That's not how I get down. But we will be doing a live stream after the fight. And understand this, Canelo's 28 years old. He still can go back down to 154 pounds and say 160 was just too big for me. My power didn't carry up. But Golovkin, if he loses, people are going to be looking like, look, we never knew. I mean, we always knew he wasn't that good. you know, and people are going to be, you know, the marketability is going to take what they built with him in LA, in the Forum, in Los Angeles. Now, you know, a pay-per-view star, because this pay-per-view is going to do at least 1 million. Now, I know the last one did unofficially 1.3 million pay-per-view buys, but this one right here, in this day and age, it's hard, you know, to say a pay-per-view is going to do 1.5 million. But when you had Mayweather McGregor do 4.4 and or some shit like that. I forgot the exact numbers, 4.3, 4.4. And then, you know, looking at this where everybody's talking about it with two fighters that, you know, barely can speak the English language. You know, if this does 1.3 again, you know, that's still a major, crazy, massive success. Canelo versus Golovkin 1 was big. That was a big, big fight, especially the fact that it tested the pockets of boxing fans, because Mayweather versus McGregor was 3 weeks before that, and that was $100. This one was $75. So I'm going to go ahead and say this pay-per-view is going to do 1.6 million. Everybody's talking about it. Casual boxing fans like, yeah, what did the Mexican dude that fought Floyd? The Russian dude, everybody thinks that motherfucking Golovkin's Russian. The Russian dude that be on HBO. Yeah, we watching that fight, man. Yo, people watching this fight. I didn't think it would be another fight like this after Floyd Mayweather that didn't feature his name, where two guys can do this many buys. So if Golovkin wins, you got to think like they can do Danny Jacobs again, even though it won't be no Canelo Golovkin numbers. That shit, it'll be more than the first fight, which was what, like 170K? Golovkin versus Jacobs 1 was 170. The second one can do 300, 400. You know, maybe 5, and that's lowballing it. You know, Billy Joe Saunders, if he goes overseas, meaning Golovkin, to get the maximum profit out of that, if he goes overseas, or what if they do it in Vegas? So the fact that both of their contracts are up is going to make things really, really interesting. And we just got to hope that this fight don't end in no bullshit. Somebody's got to get knocked the fuck out, y'all. We don't want to go through this shit another year, right? Don't you want resolution? I mean, yeah, you know, we'd be like, oh, shit, Canelo Golovkin 3. But no, we want some resolution. You know, we don't, you know, people torn. People torn. Me personally, I said it. Like, you gotta understand. I motherfucking went through shit when I was up here talking about Canelo was gonna beat Erislandy Lara, because Erislandy Lara, you know, doesn't have the punch variety, and he folds a little bit under pressure. You know, I was getting crucified. You don't know shit about boxing. Yada yada yada. I used to sit up here drunk as a skunk years and years and years and years ago and talk about Canelo was going to beat Floyd Mayweather. So now I'm like, listen, I've been doing this shit for years, man. I think, you know, and people been saying, man, your prediction's been wrong for years. You just cursed Golovkin. But no, I think the curse has been lifted. I don't think my predictions be fucked up anymore, because you know why? Because I used to not give a fuck, but I really don't give a fuck. And I don't go with my heart no more like I used to. So I just be like, because I used to be up here. I used to make up all these different scenarios and shit. I'm like, you know, and the stars aligned, and, you know, he's not doing this, he's not doing that, so he's going to be able to win and all this. And coming up with all this shit, you know, except for the shit in the boxing ring that matters. And what I see is Golovkin is taking the best that Canelo has to offer. So Canelo is trying to come in slimmer, trying to come in lighter, because he wants to use out that new bike, you know. Get that little motherfucking basket on the front with Oscar De La Hoya in the front. Take off over the moon. Some ET shit. He's going to be moving. I'm talking about, listen, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if HBO, like, pan across, you know, they show the stars of, like, you know, who's there. And you see Lionel Richie, you know, motherfucking dancing on the ceiling. He made that song. I really expect Canelo to go in there and really, really start dancing the night away. I'm serious. He's going to sit on some of his punches, but Golovkin done ate all that shit. However, he do be looking soft to the body. But remember, Golovkin is a natural 160-pounder, and there's still questions if Canelo's power has carried up above 154 pounds. Above Canelo weight, 155. Liam Smith was a 154-pounder, knocked him out with a body shot. Amir Khan was a 147-pounder at the time. He should be fighting Kell Brook at 150, but he's not. He's a punk ass. He was a smaller fighter. Chavez Jr. was at 164.5. Chavez Jr. is a 160-pound fighter that can't fight nowhere else because his power didn't carry up himself. So if you look at the power of, let's go look at it. If you look at the power of Canelo, and I understand, what you guys here, I got something for you. I'm going to show you something before we go any further. I'm going to show you something. Let me see here. Where's it at? Where's that? I want you not to forget something on Saturday night. This you guys. This you. Don't forget your maxi pads for your pussies, Canelo fans, on Saturday night. You're going to be a lucky man. That's y'all shit. Y'all white denim, huh? Or your motherfucking Tecate Born Bowl light. Tecate light. Don't forget your maxis for your heavy flow. Your fucking period's coming on early, you Canelo fans. Nah, I'm trolling y'all, but still, fuck you. Make me sick. Anyway, let's go look at it. Make me sick. 49 1-2 with 34 KOs. Canelo. He's been on HBO one. I'm talking about since he. Okay, so Lopez, Trout, Mayweather, and Angulo, Lara was Showtime. Kirkland, Cotto, Khan, Smith, Chavez Jr., these two Golovkin fights. HBO. So look at it. After he beat Lara, they dug Kirkland up because they needed the knockout because there was the controversy over, the Lara. So this was like not damage control, but more so we got to, get his name popping again. Cotto's a 147-pounder fighting at 154, right? That had that, that bullshit 160-pound title run. Remember, they dug James Kirkland out of God knows where. How long was he off before that? Look, he got his bread, though. How long was he off before that? He was off for damn near 2 years before they dug his ass up. And y'all can say, this guy's just hating and everything. No, this is the motherfucking facts. This is the motherfucking facts, because if you look at Golovkin's resume, the only fights that I can see that were bullshit, not really bullshit, because other motherfuckers didn't want to fight him. For example, the Martirosyan fight, yeah, he could afford the Revianchenko, but the money was being funny at that point in time. And the negotiations would have dragged out that it wouldn't have happened on May the 5th. You can go back and look at Kell Brook. It was supposed to be Chris Eubank Jr. Dominic Wade was a mandatory. Willie Monroe, yeah, there's some controversy. Why did you fight Willie Monroe? I forgot what was going on. I forgot the storyline behind this, but somebody refresh my memory. Where you at, Lawrence? We need you, bro. Martin Murray, he was the WBC Silver future mandatory. This is when Cotto wouldn't fight him. Antonio Rubio was the WBC interim. And if you don't know what these two fights mean, then you need to go do a little bit of research. You see what I'm saying? James DeGale, he was elevated to WBA Super World after winning the WBA World from Osamanu Adama. And he's been on HBO since Porska, right? Yeah, but when was that? He's been on HBO for last week was 6 years. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, they didn't show the Nobuhiro Ashita fight. So I don't believe they didn't show the Ashita fight. I believe, from my understanding, they showed Prosa, Rosado, Macklin, Stevens. I don't believe they showed the Adama fight. I remember trying to look for that. They showed Daniel Gill, Rubio. I believe the Martin Murray was a midday card. Willie Monroe, and then of course Lemieux was a pay-per-view. They showed Dominic Wade. Kell Brook was a midday card over here, but pay-per-view over there. Danny Jacobs pay-per-view. He's got some. He's been on pay-per-view. But yeah, don't forget your maxi pads for your pussies. Your heavy flow. Canelo fans. But it's going to be interesting to see where they go. You know, especially since HBO, when fighters lose, they like to say, yeah, they're done. They should retire. For example, they're not. I think it's almost confirmed now that they're not picking up Canelo Alvarez versus Sergey Kovalev too. You know, it's just looking like they're done. Even though they're going to be, they're going to be committed to showing the Superfly 4 card. So, you know, in my opinion, I think the door is more open for Canelo to sign somewhere else than for Golovkin. I think HBO is going to hang on to Golovkin. And remember, Dana Jacobs is heading over to the Zone after his fight on October the 27th. You know. Anyway, I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. Please subscribe.